For most colleges, school colors are a source of pride. That's not the case here at the University of Oregon, though, at least not for the players inside Autzen Stadium. Duck football is not confined to traditions, and it all starts with what they wear each Saturday. They're what you might call the anti-Penn State.
One of the things when I started here, people talked about tradition, and they said the tradition here is that we don't have any tradition.
Kind of our tradition is not being traditional.
Penn State has that classic look. They have the classic blue or the classic white. They've got the white helmet. Everybody knows what that looks like. In Michigan, same thing. University of Oregon, part of what our brand is that it changes from week to week.
The Oregon Ducks, known around the country as much for what they look like as for how they play.
We always kind of have that mystique about what it is going to be. You know, we don't really announce it ahead of time, or usually it comes out, you know, maybe an hour or two before the game, and people kind of know. But you know, it definitely creates a buzz and it gets people excited. Just kind of our little niche in college football.
It's like Fashion Week every Saturday, you know, and people want to know what we're wearing.
Long gone are the days of the home and away uniform.
We haven't worn the same exact uniform 2 weeks in a row since 2001.
Since replaced by a trend that really was perfected by the Ducks.
This year, in fact, I know for a fact we have not worn the same exact combination, because once you start adding in the helmets, which is kind of a new wrinkle this year, that just makes the possibilities really infinite.
That headgear, of course, making a big splash at last year's Rose Bowl, and they're made right here in Oregon.
It was fun to be involved in something that is this out there, I guess. But no, we had no idea that people were going to respond like this.
Chris Tom is the president of Hydrographics in Oregon.
Late 2008, I think, is when some of the first carbon fiber helmet samples came about. Went through probably, I would say 7, 8 different variations before something was chosen.
Since then, Nike pushed them to develop an even wilder and crazier design. It starts with a polyvinyl alcohol film with a pattern. In simple terms, it works like a breath strip, dissolving in water but leaving the pattern on the surface. They then dip the helmet, or for the purposes of this demonstration, a hard hat, in the water.
And the pressure of the water conforms that pattern to the three-dimensional shape.
All of those helmets then end up here in the care of this guy.
These are all of our game jerseys, 6 different jerseys this year.
Kenny Farr has to head up what is the hardest working equipment team in all of college football. He's the guy that has to keep track of what the Ducks are wearing each week, which is no easy task when you consider how many combinations are possible.
When we wear a black helmet and yellow jersey and black pants, people call that like the bumblebee look, or when you wear all white, people call that the stormtrooper.
I don't have a good enough math degree to be able to understand how that multiplication works, because once you start adding in socks and you add in the gloves and pants and jerseys, it can be endless.
So how do they decide what to wear each week? In seasons past, Chip Kelly let Oregon's golf coach choose.
The Casey Martin story, everybody talks about that. Casey would kind of pick out each week, and he took it pretty seriously. And then obviously this year when he played in the U.S. Open, you know, Chip picked out his uniform.
Since then, though, it's in the minds behind the design that are calling the shots.
And obviously, Nike's been instrumental to everything that we do. They'll start meeting in the spring to discuss what they're going to do for the year, and then determine week by week what it's going to look like. And they don't only look at what we're wearing, they look at what the other team could potentially be wearing and where the stadium is going to be, and home or away.
A highly calculated process, because don't kid yourself, the whole philosophy behind what the Ducks do is anything but random.
It is extremely popular, obviously, with the youth. EA Sports college football game, we are the #1 selected team on that game. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that we change our uniforms.
Changing uniforms, changing helmets, changing tradition, one fan at a time. No one was able to pinpoint the exact number of uniform combinations, although we believe it's somewhere over 500. For Campus Insiders, I'm Jill Savage.